Welcome to WCSN. I'm Danny Zuko.
And I'm Sandy Olson. I'm glad to be here, and we're glad that you decided to join us today.
Coming up on today's show, visit with the new band director, visit Craft Corner, learn the quick and easy way to make pumpkin spice cakes, and more.
Show is a special abbreviated edition for Halloween. Carter, Travis, and Adam covered the homecoming parade and have a brief recap of the events.
I was a little disappointed when we went downtown that there wasn't the usual display of school spirit that we've seen in the past years.
Maybe we should consider offering a prize for the best show of school spirit. You know, like Christmas decorations during the holidays?
That's an idea for next year, Grace, but I'm a senior. I won't be here. That can be your project.
Well, let's see what you did for homecoming.
Homecoming is the tradition of welcoming back alumni of a school. It most commonly refers to a tradition in which, it actually refers to a tradition in many universities, colleges, and high schools in North America. It usually includes activities for students and alumni, such as sports, like tonight at Friday Night Lights. We're going to be hosting the Wheelersburg Pirates. Go Tigers! So sports and cultural events and a parade like we're going to do today up here around the Tiger School District as well as down around the town square. So that's really exciting and we're ready to go. Travis, would you like to talk a little about the United States and how homecoming has evolved here?
Sure, Carter. Homecoming is an annual tradition in the United States. People, towns, high schools, and colleges come together, usually in late September or early October, to welcome back alumni and former residents. It is built around the central events such as a banquet and most often a game of American football, or occasionally basketball, ice hockey, or soccer. When celebrated by schools or activities are very widely based. However, they usually consist of football game played on a high school home football field, activities for students and alumni, and a parade featuring high school's marching band and a sports team. And it usually consists of having a homecoming queen and a homecoming king, but our school doesn't have a homecoming king. Don't know why.
Don't know why.
Just don't know. We wish we could, but we just can't.
I just call my grandma.
A dance commonly follows the game. When attached to a football game, homecoming traditionally occurs when the teams return from the longest road trip of the season. You got anything to say about that, Adam?
I think I might go ahead and talk about the origins of homecoming.
That's good.
The origin of homecoming comes from the University of Missouri. Homecoming can be traced back to 1911. 1911, Travis.
Goodness gracious.
The Kansas was born that year. The Kansas vs. Missouri game, when the Missouri Tigers first faced off against the Kansas Jayhawks in the first installment of the Border War, which is also the oldest Division I college football rivalry, west of the Mississippi River. The intense rivals of the game originally took place around neutral sites, usually in Kansas City. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Wow.
That is very interesting.
Homecoming is so much more in depth than I could have ever imagined.
Fun facts about homecoming. Here's actually a fun fact about Canada. The best known and largest homecoming weekends are held by the University of Western Ontario, the University of Manitoba, McGill University, McMaster University, Queen's University.
Oh, my cousin goes there.
Really,
Yes.
That is amazing. That's see how small world after all.
His name is Dante.
Dante was there?
That's nice. Dante too.
Dante too.
That's a nice name.
Trent University, University of Waterloo, and Wilfrid Lapp. Can you say that, Travis? Laurier. University
Laurier.
Oh, Laurier.
Laurier.
French.
Laurier. You did take French.
I
You're
took
right.
French. For 3 years.
Spanish.
So, and So, what was I saying? Canadian homecoming weekends are often centered on a football game, but are also filled with events such as pancake keggers and parades. A pancake kegger. My goodness, they know how to have a good time up north, don't they? In Newfoundland and Labrador, horrible pronouncing countries and cities and whatnot in foreign countries, communities have a come home year where people who have moved away from their town and come back from across Canada. In 2000, there was a big year where many people came back to visit their various communities. So 2000 was like their biggest year of having it. So that's impressive. Homecomings are popular among Canadian high schools, and the Upper Canada colleges also have a long-standing homecoming tradition. So it's not just an American thing; it's a very popular thing, especially in North America.
Homecoming was a lot of fun, Carter, but you're right. We need to encourage more show of school spirit next year.
Exactly. Coming up, Travis is going to demonstrate how to make a quick and easy Halloween treat.
Parents are so busy with costumes and trick-or-treating, young children can make these with little supervision.
Not only that, they're pretty tasty.
Hello. On today's Tasty Treats with Travis, we are going to be making some pumpkin spice cupcakes, and this should be delicious. And the first thing, as always, what you should do is wash your hands. And after you're done with that, I will explain how to make this. It's a very simple recipe. All you need is some spice cake and about a 15-ounce thing of pumpkin flavoring, I guess you would call it. Just in a can. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to preheat the oven to 325. Start that up while you're getting ready. And next, you're going to need to get out a mixing bowl. And the first thing you're going to do, or after that, what you're going to do is you are going to pack it out, and just dump the whole thing in there. Then you're going to have to open up this, and what we're going to do next is we are going to have to mix these together. Your oven's preheated. And don't forget the egg. And you're just going to mix these together. It might take a while, but eventually you'll get it. And your end result should look a little something like this. And now the next step is to put them in your cupcake trays. It doesn't matter if they're big or small, but if they're small, it should make around probably somewhere between 18 to 24, I'd say. Always get us. And your last step is you're going to put them in the oven on 325 for around 18 to 20 minutes. And you just gotta wait. And your end result should look a little something like this. Not hard at all, very simple treat. And that pretty much wraps up Travis's Tasty Treats. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
I was able to get a sample of these cupcakes. As easy as they are to make, they really are delicious. Sticking with the Halloween theme, in a recent interview, Miss Hookway shared some of her Halloween experiences.
Hi, I'm Shanna Parker, and I'm here with Waverly's new band director, Miss Hookway. Welcome to Waverly. We're glad to have you. How many years have you been a band director?
This is my first year.
What college did you go to?
Ohio State University.
Were you in the Ohio State marching band?
Yes, I was.
For how many years?
For 3 years.
I'm in the band, and I know you've changed Hang On Sloopy to the OSU version. What other changes and improvements are you planning on doing with the band this year?
Well, this year we're going to be going to district contest, and hopefully we'll start playing a little bit more tricky music. So that's kind of my big goal for right now, is pushing the envelope with our musicianship.
I like the challenge. What are you most excited and nervous about?
Nervous to go to contest because it's my first time going as a band director, but I'm really excited to be going as well. I think we'll do a really good job.
Okay. What have you learned from the band since you've been here?
The band learns really quickly. The band is usually really on target, and they just learn drill quickly, so hopefully we will be able to learn concert music quickly and put on a good show for everybody.
What is your favorite marching song other than Sloopy or My Town?
Buckeye Battle Cry.
Oh, I should have seen that coming. How many notes do you have to hear a song before you recognize it?
Sometimes just the first note, just the first chord. Sometimes just a few notes. Usually that's just about it.
Who's your favorite composer or musician?
I have a lot of favorites, but probably Leonard Bernstein, because he writes for a lot of different styles of music.
What's your favorite style of music, or what kind of music do you listen to in your free time when you're not working with this music?
In my free time, pretty average, top 40s, Christian radio, country radio, classical.
Do you even have free time?
No.
And since this is a Halloween show, I thought maybe I should ask you some Halloween questions. What's your favorite Halloween costume?
A princess.
Oh, really? Were you ever you were a princess?
I was a princess.
Which one? Or just a princess in
Just
general?
a princess.
And what do you remember most about Halloween as a kid?
Walking up to a house as a princess and looking at the guy holding the bowl, thinking that it was a mannequin, and then it not being, and he goes, rah! And scaring me and screaming and running away.
Did you get candy from that house?
I did not.
I can understand
I let them keep their candy.
Well, I don't know. It might have been worth the candy, but thank you for letting us interview you.
You're welcome.
I remember my favorite Halloween. I was dressed as Minnie Mouse, and we had the best tricks.
Oh, I did something like that. I was a French maid, and we had the best treats.
Well, Carter.
The earliest known reference to ritual begging on Halloween in English-speaking North America occurred in 1911, when a newspaper in Kingston, Ontario reported that it was normal for the smaller children to go street guising on Halloween between 6 and 7 p.m. They visited shops and neighbors to be rewarded with nuts and candies for their rhymes and songs.
It's the second most popular holiday, after Christmas, for decorating. Of course, we all love spooky stories. Remember scary stories to tell in the dark? I know a great Halloween poem. Want to hear it, Carter?
Do I have a choice?
No. It's called Trick or Treat. How's that for originality? Trick or treat, we Halloweeners roam the street, scaring old ladies with our false faces, poking out sacks and pillowcases. So bring out the candy and all things sweet, for this is the night of trick or treat.
I remember that poem. The poet is Carson McCullers. I had to learn about him in the 4th grade.
Well, Drew and I discussed some of the stuff we learned in Craft Corner. Let's see where that leads us. Hi, I'm Grace Lilly.
I'm Drew Herman.
And today we're here with Craft Corner. To get it ready for the Halloween season, me and Drew decided to paint pumpkins. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to teach you guys how to paint a pumpkin. I know it's a really hard concept for some of you guys that have been carving pumpkins for years, maybe you think that it keeps evil away from your house or whatnot. I know it has always done that
Keeps
for
Grace
me.
away from my house.
Oh, that's what you think. I was there last night. Anyways, folks, we're going to carve the pumpkins today. Not really. We're going to paint them. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my design with a Sharpie marker so that I can paint over it. And Drew's going to do whatever he wants. He's a little bit of a free-spirited lad. Rebel. So he's just going to go right for the paint. But if you want a more organized approach, you can start with the Sharpie. So I've started with my face. And what I'm going to kind of do is I did kind of like a moon and star look. If you like the galaxy approach. I know I do. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some acrylic paints. And you can use a bowl or a plate or Drew's hand or whatever you want to hold your paints. You're going to...
Or Grace's face.
Oh, that's funny, Drew. Oh, you always were a jokester. You're going to put a little bit of this paint in your bowl. Just a little. And then you can just start painting. You can really start in any area. Today we have a special guest audience. Did you notice, Drew?
Oh, I just seen them.
We've got some of the tag kids over here.
Smart.
It's a Wednesday, so they're here. We've got some of the 5th graders over. I don't know how old the rest of them are. 5th and a 7th grader.
2 7th graders.
They
And
are
they're sitting over there playing Minecraft.
Got a few 7th graders, I guess.
That's pretty usual.
They
5, 6. I can't count. How about me?
Now we tried to get our executive producer to let us carve pumpkins. We thought that would be a lot of fun, but they just really didn't trust Drew with knives. He's had a history, and I don't really mean to bring it up on television, but Drew has a history with knives, and we were just a little worried about carving pumpkins, especially with the children here, because he also has a history with children. So we thought that combining the two of them would be a little bit much for Drew.
You're lucky I have no idea what you just said.
So what's your favorite Halloween tradition?
Halloween parties.
Halloween parties? Have you already been to any good parties this year?
I've been to one, but it wasn't that good.
Are you dressing up this year?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
What are you going to dress up as?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan? Are you going to wear tights?
Yeah, I already bought them.
Oh, gosh. Well,
Maybe we can show a picture.
I don't think that's
I think that would disturb too many viewers.
Yes.
So are you done with your pumpkin yet?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
I always...
Oh. Crap.
Watch your language. We have younger viewers.
I mean, noodles.
Okay, well, I just finished my pumpkin. I'm just a quicker painter than you, I guess, Drew. Oh, hello. Are you trying to get closer to me?
Sure. You can't look at that yet.
Okay, well, what I did was I did the moon and the stars, and I did the moon blue and the star yellow to do like the eyes, kind of like an outer space theme. And then I did the typical jack-o'-lantern teeth. What do you think? Should I give him some hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. What about blue hair?
Yeah.
Blue hair? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, always bangs. Pumpkins love bangs, I hear. And now these bangs, if you want to do bangs on your pumpkin, you can just do like a light stroke with your paintbrush. Kind of do like a back and forth motion. It's one of the harder steps. You just kind of, just a flick of the wrist really is all it is. But don't, some of our viewers, this might give you a little bit of arthritis, so be careful. Okay, so there's some bangs. Or maybe I'll just give him a bowl cut. Now just make sure you get into all these crevices of your pumpkin. You don't want somebody seeing the orange up top. That's embarrassing. Now one thing about painting your pumpkin is that you won't get to put a light in it like you would if you carved. So maybe some ideas are to use like string some Christmas lights around your pumpkin. Or maybe a flameless candle. Put that near the pumpkin. I hear those flameless candles are really great. Maybe we should make flameless candles on the next show. What do you think of that, Drew? Can teach you how to paint bangs. It's just that flick of the wrist motion. And if you want, you can pretend that your handle's like a ponytail. You can put a bow around it or something.
I whip my ponytail back and forth.
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Yeah, just don't forget to get in all those crevices. Wow, Drew, you're really taking a long time. Pumpkin.
I'm just trying to catch up with you.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I could be doing. Like, I could add some ears. What do you think? Ears? Ears?
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Ears. Well, Drew, I think it's about time to be done.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. I really, really like that, Drew. Drew wanted to keep his a surprise.
You lying. You lying.
You can now, if you want your pumpkin to have a little bit of extra flavor, you can. What you can do. Now, one thing that most people I often hear, if you want to add some extra flavor, you can add some gold tint to the hair. One thing I often hear people say around here is that they don't want to paint their pumpkins because they want to eat the seeds. Do you have any suggestions for those people, Drew?
Well, what I would do, I would cut open the pumpkin, get out all those seeds, and like get the guts out from it. And like then you would put it on a baking tray and do whatever you want with it. So then you could paint it. So there you
I don't
go.
think that's really the answer that they were looking for, Drew, but I'm sure our viewers appreciate your input. My input is to suggest to your neighbors that they should carve their pumpkins. Then, once they get the seeds out, tell them there's been a pumpkin recall and that they should probably not eat the seeds. And say that you love your neighbor so much that you will offer to dispose of those recalled pumpkin seeds. I'm not saying that I've done it before, but I'm saying that I know for a fact that it works. 9 times out of 10.
Nice.
The 10th time they had already found out on their own about the recall.
I'm using the wrong end of this brush.
See, I'm just adding some gold into my painted pumpkin. Okay, Drew. Thank you for having such a good attitude of being on our show today.
Uh-huh.
No need to reply to my statements.
Oh, okay. Are you ready to show your oh wait, you already showed.
Okay, my pumpkin is done. Bowl cut jack-o'-lantern. Yay me.
And I drew Miss Hookway and Miss Wilson.
Oh, yay! It doesn't even look like that, but we'll still clap.
At least I did the Asian eyes.
Beautiful. Well,
This is for you.
that's it's for you. Always for you, always for our viewers. We'd like to thank you for stopping by today and watching our show. We'd also like to thank all the little people on WCSN. We have about 30 people that work with us on Craft Corner, as we like to mention. And they all matter, and they're all important. You know, we've got a live studio audience every week, so we want to thank them. But this has been Craft Corner, and please stop in again next time. I'm Grace Lilly,
I'm Drew Herman.
and bye.
That was so amusing. I bet your attitudes have changed a lot since then. Speaking of attitudes, the Lake Club will be presenting the play Pride and Prejudice. It is a drama about attitudes and prejudice that existed in Victorian England. It is also a pretty intense love story. Some of WCSN staff members are in the cast and have a story for us. So let's tune in.
I'm here with Thomas George and Grace Lilly, who are the two leads in the Lit Club play Pride and Prejudice. Are you enjoying your part, Thomas?
No.
Are you enjoying your part, Grace?
Yes, I'm very much so enjoying my part, and I'm really enjoying working with Thomas and the rest of the cast, and yeah,
I hate her.
he loves me.
What special preparations have you taken to perform well in the play?
You know, I always have my daily ritual before all the practices where I look at a poster of Grace against the wall and sacrifice a pig to the heathen gods.
My preparations have been a little bit more common. I watched the movie Pride and Prejudice to get in character. I talk to Thomas a lot more and try to build more of a hate towards him because Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy have a very love-hate relationship. I need to work on the love part a little bit more. I study my lines a lot and, of course, come to all the practices and just work my hardest.
How do you two personally feel about the play?
Moo.
Well, I think it's going to be a great play. I think we have a wonderful cast this year, and we're all working hard, and we're all doing well at memorizing our lines. And I think it's really interesting, and it's something that every person can relate to.
Here are your two leads for the Pride and Prejudice play, Thomas George and Grace Lilly. Okay. I'm here with Mr. Dickens, who is the director, and he is running the Lit Club play. What are you looking forward to most about the Lit Club play?
The thing that I'm looking forward to most is working with the students. In my current job as a district administrator, I don't get to work with students very closely. I'm working a lot with teachers and with principals, so I really enjoy being able to work with students. That's the main thing that I enjoy when I get to work in directing the plays.
Why did you choose Pride and Prejudice, and what are your personal feelings about it?
Well, I chose Pride and Prejudice, number one, for its literary value. For the literary club in the fall, we always choose something that has some sort of literary value, and I like choosing plays that give students some experiences in period costumes. I think they really enjoy that aspect of it, and I like the theme that is in Pride and Prejudice.
What do you find most difficult about directing the play?
Actually, there are no difficulties. But if I wanted to pick one, I would say scheduling practices to meet everyone's needs. Students are very busy. When I first started this in 1997, it did not seem to be as many after-school activities. Students didn't have as many jobs that they had to go to. Students didn't seem to have after-school jobs as much. Now, in those 15 years, things have changed a little bit. There are more activities even outside of school for students to participate in. And with the economy the way it is, more students have jobs. So it's a little challenging trying to schedule a practice and have your entire cast present.
Is there anything you'd like to share with the viewers about Pride and Prejudice or the play?
I would just like to share with the viewers that I would hope that we have a large crowd that comes to see the students perform. That is the main thing for me, is that the students enjoy themselves and that people come to see all of the hard work that they've put into the rehearsals and the nights of the performances.
What is the basic information on the play? Like, when is it? How much is it going to cost? Where will it be?
The play will be performed Friday, November the 9th at 7 p.m. and Sunday afternoon, November 11th at 2 p.m. The price for student admission is $2, and the price for the adult admission is $3. We have kept that, as long as I've been directing, I've kept those prices the same. I have thought about possibly increasing them at some point, but I always end up thinking, during this period of economic downturn that we have, I think it's a good idea to keep it the same for parents and students.
Thank you, Mr. Dickens, for telling us about Pride and Prejudice. This is Sheridan McLean for WCSN News.
Our fall sports teams have reached many goals that they set for themselves this year.
That is true, Carter. Golf, cross country, soccer, and volleyball have reached sectionals and beyond. We can all be very proud of our athletes.
That's right. Purpose, perspiration, and pride.
Carter, I think it's preparation. So from all of us here at WCSN, we'd like to wish you a very happy Halloween.
And we'll see you soon.